Hello, fellow travelers. Under the watchful gaze of crows perched high above, we embark on a journey etched in shadow and ink, and guided only by the trembling needle of a compass that defies reason. Take a deep breath as we unravel the unknown.
Hello fellow travelers, my name is SG and welcome to the channel. Today we'll be going over another independent project here on YouTube that really got my interest when I saw it just arbitrarily one day, and I just really wanted to share with you and give my own 2 cents about it. I really do enjoy the characters, I do enjoy the setting, and I do enjoy the small references that we see throughout. Now this is a project called Cloaked from Bumco Studios, and I think it deserves some notoriety. I know it does got quite a few subscribers and views, and I just really wanted to add my own 2 cents to it and to show my support for it. And with all that being said, please leave a like, comment, subscribe down below. If you want to support the original creator, I'll leave a link down below to the original video as well. Please go check them out. And with all that being said, let's get started, shall we? Cloak was created by Taliesin Ray and directed by Taliesin Ray and Ricky Scullis. Produced by Lindsay Ball and script by Ricky Scullis and Martin Perkins. Cloak is intended to be a 10-minute episodic kind of series, based in a fantasy world where Nim, our main character, is striving to save the kingdom while at the same time being the princess's personal knight, or royal guard. The pilot does give us a good background for our 3 main characters, Nim, Ro, and Theed, explaining their points of views, the way they see the character, the Cloaked Comet, and their own wants, desires, and kind of insecurities at the same time. So this really did have all the elements of making a good pilot episode, while at the same time leaving certain elements out to leave as a mystery, such as why does she disguise herself as the Cloaked Comet? Why does Thed seem to want to go but at the same time not want to go? Is she just on the side of Nim? And what is Ro's personal vendetta against the Cloaked Comet overall? Or is she even really hate her? Is it because she is just tasked with finding them? There's so much more to go off of the story, but for right now, with what information we have, we can just speculate and see what happens later on. I really do enjoy the animation style that we're given. It does have that vibe of being a more realistic version of Adventure Time, while at the same time kind of having hints of She-Ra in there. And it does give its own personality and flair to it. While we have seen this style before, I can say that this is definitely a series that will thrive off it. Give its own kind of personal air and kind of give it its own identity, if you will. So for the most part, I do enjoy that the animation itself is not just nice to look at, it feels very smooth and very well developed, like this was thought out. And you can tell that there was a lot of effort put in to show off not just the script skills, but also the animation skills as well. While this still stands as a proof of concept, with still certain elements that do need a little bit of polishing, I do think that this does hold up as a pilot episode. It does seem like more will come along the way, and I really can't wait to see how we go as we move on to the more episodes or the next episode, whichever one you like to go with. The sound working is also very well done, because when it comes down to independent projects or projects that don't really have the funding, sounding can be very off or very off-putting as well. So when I first heard it, I thought this actually sounded pretty good. I do like the way the voices are being portrayed here. The different actors do bring in their best when they talk through the characters. And for the most part, I have to say that there does seem to be a lot of, again, effort put into it to make it feel natural, to make it sound natural. This didn't have anything that didn't sound right. So I will say that, for the most part, that I did enjoy the way this sound. Maybe work on some background music, if you will. Not really music, or maybe just background sounds would be my personal guess. But for the most part, I have to say I do like the way it is sounding. It feels right, feels natural, and definitely does leave a lot to the characters. I do like that you can tell which character's which just by their tone and the way their actions are. Really setting itself apart from one another and kind of tells you, oh, this is Nim, this is Ro, and this is Thad. Not just because the voice actors are different, but because you can tell their, I guess you could say, frequencies or their tones, or even just their energetic ways does reach into the main voice actors as well. When it comes to the characters, I really do enjoy all their individual personalities. I can tell that Nim is a very headstrong character, that she's very energetic, but at the same time she feels sort of out of place amongst her own peers. That while she does know that she's doing a good job as a royal guard, she feels stifled, she feels restricted. She knows she can go out there and do more if she is able to, but at the same time she knows that she doesn't really want to harm anybody or harm the name of the royal princess from when she guards. Hence why we could tell that's why she does what she does in the middle of the night, or when she goes out to try to save people. So for the most part, I would have to say that would be her overall personality. When it comes to Ro, or the princess, we could tell that she is also a bit of in her own ego. Not really too much though. We can tell that she's under a lot of pressure, she's struggling to connect with the common people, and at the same time achieve a goal that was thrust upon her, which is catching the Cloaked Comet. And we don't really know if she really does hate them, or if she just hates the task she was given. And I'm going to have to go with the latter on this one. It feels that she is under pressure from all those around her, maybe from family, or just the weight of the crown itself. So for the most part, we can tell that while Ro may seem like an antagonist, we can tell that she herself is going to be a big protagonist throughout the rest of the series. And when it comes to Thad, we don't really know much about him other than he is the trusty steed and or cat creature of Nim, who is a best friend of hers and willing to go along for the journey. Now, the one thing we don't understand is the connections between all of them. We do know that Ro does have a high esteem for Nim, otherwise she wouldn't be the royal guard. We can tell that they are a little more than just a guard and princess, they are friends. You can tell that Nim is something precious to Ro from the very beginning, because we don't really see her get attacked by her at the very end for not being there, much more just for letting the Cloaked Comet get away. So the characters, their interactions just in this 10-minute short did kind of seem to circle around and kind of give us a good idea of their perspectives, who they are, and what their ultimate goals are to do. Well, with all that being said, let's move on, shall we? The voice acting cast for Nim is Leela Shumuk, Ro is Alina Boggs, Thed is Martin Perkins, and the monster is played by Ricky Scalise, Taliesin Ray, and the guards E. West, Ricky Scalise, and Taliesin Ray as well. Again, I do have to give props to the voice acting overall. It really does bring the characters to life. I think each one did a very well job portraying the characters they were trying to portray and the personalities they were trying to capture. There is no real weak link in this, if you could call it. I think all of them came in strong, and all of them came in knowing the characters and their personalities pretty well enough that they managed to really make them into more three-dimensional characters. I really can't wait to see what this cast continues on to go do with the series as a whole, seeing if they come back and seeing when we'll see more character development. But like I said, overall, this is about the voice acting. They do very well. I do like their independent tones, making their own for the characters and personalities as well. As the pilot and as a whole, this goes far beyond a proof of concept. This is showing that it really can work, and that more than anything it does have a fan base that is willing to follow it. I've seen the comments, I've seen different directions, and I have seen the way this project has gone about itself. It carries itself very well. I do like the themes overall, and I do think that it does have a certain charm to it that does separate it from other independent projects as well, or even projects we've seen in the past. You can definitely tell the references and the small nods to other series such as Steven Universe, Adventure Time, She-Ra, or even just He-Man. You can definitely see where you're coming from, but they don't overtake the series. You can tell it's its own storyline, and I do love the Robin Hood-esque kind of tone they try to go with the overall series itself. And while it may need some polishing here and there is no pilot that really doesn't need it. I do think that this is pretty much ready to go for an entire series. I do want to see it grow. I want to see where the storyline goes. I do like these characters. The voice acting hits just right, along with the sounding, along with the animation being in a phenomenal state as well. So overall, I have no real complaints about it. Nothing that can't be fixed down the line. And I do think that this does have a good reputation, or does have a good way of going, that it does have a brighter future amongst it. So for the most part, I will say that I can't wait to see what happens next. I do think I will be following the series. If there are more episodes down the line, I would definitely love to review more, see more, and of course give my own 2 cents along the way. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe down below. Please go support the original creator. I'll leave a link down below where you can see it. It is a great series and it's very unique while at the same time being something very familiar. I do enjoy it and I can't wait to see what comes along down the line. Now with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Have a great one and see you later.